this morning's discussion, certainly from the workshop that I was in following Misty Blue and Tom, the incredible importance of having support networks and people that you can talk to, people with specialist knowledge and people that can provide support. That message came out pretty clearly. So we're very lucky today to have Tom Flood, who many of you will know, of course, who's president of the Ostomy New South Wales, Carol Stott from the Swimmer Therapy Association, and Joanne Lawrence from the New South Wales Continence Nurses Association. This is a panel discussion, so it's kind of introducing their associations and giving a bit of a broad sweep, and that will be followed by concurrent workshops with Tom and Carol and Joanne in the other room B over there. So if you don't, we're going to try and have a little bit of time for questions after the three people have spoken. But if you don't get your questions answered, you'll have another opportunity in the workshops. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Tom, who is very well known to most people here. As you would know, he's the incumbent president of one of the two ostomy associations in New South Wales, and in conjunction with the Colostomy Association, Tom's involved in coordinating the annual Sydney-based and biannual regional joint support meetings to bring speakers and information to their incumbent statewide membership. So thank you very much, Tom.
I've written it out so I won't bore you too much. Good morning members, family and friends. How's that? My name is Tom Flood and I'm the president of Ostomy New South Wales Limited. Used to be the Early Ostomy Association. ONL is one of the two Ostoma support groups operating in New South Wales. Our sister association is the Colostomy Association of New South Wales. Previous to 1957, there was no stoma support group in Australia. That was all that they said. They made no comment at all about it, and just, you know. I went to see one doctor just the last few years. He said, I want to have a look, so I showed him, and he came back. The next time I went to see him,
You went back to see him.
Yes. Well, he was the first one that ever showed any interest. So I said, I'm going to hang on to this guy. I said, if you send anybody like that, he said, I've got two ladies that I said, what kind of problems do they have? Oh, he said they have skin problems. He was very helpful. Next time I went, was looking a bit bad, and he said, do I have to? I said, look, I'll tell you, I'll hop up and just pull the cotton wool back, so the little piece, you know. So we did that. He didn't vomit this time. But it was, you know, you had no information and you're just wandering around doing the best you can. And my first ray of sunshine came one Sunday night. We were listening to the radio to the Roger Bush show. Roger Bush was a minister of the Uniting Church of England. On 2GB, when Sister Betty Hughes and you, Rolf, of the Early Ostomy Association spoke of the support and work in this association. This was my first ever. I didn't know that there was a urologist. I didn't know that there was a group like this. I used to say to myself, there must be other people like this. My nephew, who is associate professor in heart muscles, I spoke to him about it. So I researched it, and he said most of the. I said, well, it happens in one in about 30,000 people, about one in all the babies born in Sydney. I said, well, there would be 60. This is when I was young. There would be 60 people. He said, no, they all die. Well, you people are evidence that they don't all die. I read in the magazine that it wasn't a life-threatening thing, that you could just live till old age. So I don't know what old age is. But I'm 79.5 tomorrow, so I guess that's old age. One lady here today, her uncle was 83, so I'm overshadowed by that person there. It was, my wife was down there, the rooms the next day, and she met a lady there, and she said she was the butcher's wife. And years before, I met this lady. She was a girl then, and she was a telegram girl. Now, in those days, girls didn't deliver telegrams. It was only boys. And my mate and I had this young lady outside our house and going on about women delivering telegrams. You don't really realise how other people can come into your life later on in time. And Gwen Anderson was the secretary then, and that was the beginning of my journey to a better lifestyle. And I met down there another lady, the manager of the day. Her daughter had blood extra, so she didn't die. She's still alive, 43 or so. I was not alone anymore. Had somebody to talk to. One of the biggest problems, had no one to talk to. Just if you could just talk about it, you raise the subject on pee and bladder, and there's an almighty silence happens immediately. And you get this impression that you should change the subject right now because we don't hear about it. I understand that Roger Bush had 2 or 3 people ring up that night and abuse him over the telephone. You don't talk about things like that on the radio. Well, little did he know, and he probably doesn't know, that one person benefited from that, and that was me. I'm not alone. Support groups of all kinds are very important in making the wider community aware of the needs of people who, through no fault of their own, have to face up to and manage difficult situations and make the best of difficult new lifestyles. No matter what you've got, whether you've got a bag or otherwise, it's a new lifestyle. I love my stoma and my bag. Both are a great invention. The best part is you do not smell anymore. Wearing a tag, you smell all the time. You wash yourself and make yourself very as pleasant as you possibly can, but you still smell because urine just depreciates when it hits the fresh air. That's it. You are not tied to a timetable of change, had to be home by a certain time, had to go home every day at lunchtime to change. No days were missed. I missed one day. We went to the museum in Sydney. I managed to get by that day. I don't know how, but that was when I was in 5th or 6th class, I think. No more living in a puddle like a frog. That's what you do. You're living in a puddle. You've got to keep moving on your seat because if you don't keep moving, it just takes a little line like this and just drips down there. You feel yourself and you're dry, but it's just dripping. This happened to me. We were watching. We're in the theatre one night, watching a war picture. And of course, boys always like war pictures. And I'm sitting there, and I became aware that there was something wrong. A kid from my class was sitting right behind me, and this drip was going down. Dry all out except this one drip. So these were some of the things that you had to put up with. And the most important thing, of course, no more endless washing on the line. My mother used to put it out on the line there, and I'd say, couldn't we put it somewhere else? No, it's got to get dried. And I'd cringe every time I came out the door, and all these towels were in this line there, getting dried. No more drip like the April shower. Whenever you got out of bed or anything, it would drip all the time. Had to have something under you all the time. So many wonderful advantages. I did not want an ectopic bladder, neither did my parents, but since I was given one, I'm glad I have a bag and live in Australia with all the wonderful support and help that is so freely given. People like Carol and other ladies who provide the wonderful support that there is today. It was a very, very lonely experience before, But now I see all these people here. One thing I'm glad they left me alone. I had one. He took the tumour off. I developed a tumour when I was 50. Took that off, and he came up afterwards. I said to Kate, "You better find my wife. If there's cancer, you know that we were concerned about." And he comes in and he starts talking about this. I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "I take some skin under your arm and put it around it and blah, blah, blah." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Your penis." He said, "I can fix it up." While he's doing this, I'm thinking, now what if, when you're sort of using it, as men have to use it, and it just unravels? And when I was concerned, it would come apart. Who's trying to encourage me? And that's all I could see was the thing. So I spoke to him several times, and then anyway, one day he became serious, and he said, I said, well, he said, what you could do? He said, we can't guarantee that you get an erection, all these kinds of things. I said, well, I don't want to be experimented on. He said, well, he's never done it before. I said, forget it. When I went to see him last year, he said, I think a decision we made before was very right. I said, I'm sure it was a good decision. But having heard all the things today, it may not have been as bad as I thought it was, but that's what all I could see was the thing coming undone in the middle of proceedings. And today we met Andrew again. We lost Andrew for a while, and these lovely people here. Christine, Celie rang me one time. I think Heather Hill had indicated to her that I was a person to talk to. Remember the conversation? And your name's still in my phone book at work there. Wondered how she's getting along, and this is this young lady. Stand up. Is it a lovely lady?
Beautiful.
Lovely lady. This is what support groups provide. It's a wonderful opportunity to exchange ideas and to talk to other people about the things that concern you. When I met Beverly Burns, we talked about towels and getting towels dry and things like that, because that was all I was up to at that particular stage. But it's good to talk to somebody else who knew something about it, you know? And everybody else would go very, very quiet and become very, very uninterested. Our associations put